Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? This is Ethereal Eyes Moonlight. Enough yapping, let's get to painting. I always like to lay down my second darkest shade. It's just on one side of my brush. Just gonna push it into my socket. This is a beautiful gray. Gray tends to want to be patchy. This one is super smooth. Now this is my transition shade. We're gonna start to press that right above the gray. Try tapping it first when you're introducing colors. It really helps them kind of get familiar and melt into one another. Let's add some depth. Switch to a smaller brush. Anytime I use black eyeshadow, that's gonna equal smaller brush. This is a really nice black. I'm gonna take it over this way, kind of connect. Little extra eyeshadow base. When I saw this blue, it was love at first sight. Use the side of the brush and pack that on. That looks like blue suede. These shimmers, oh my gosh. Now that is gonna go towards the front and feather over into the navy. Oh my goodness, delightful. And I wanna keep the eye really rounded, so I'm gonna use a fluffy brush in my cellar water just to kind of melt these edges. I'm gonna add just a little bit more black. And if you don't feel as comfortable in cool tones, take some of your corrector. I'm using a peach one here for my skin tone. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna bring it kind of around, and it's gonna add a little bit of warmth to all of this coolness. So as I'm setting my under eye, I'm gonna take my puff and my powder and kind of blur the edge here. I'm gonna grab a little bit of that shade on a fluffy brush and kind of push it into here. Look at the difference that setting with the puff on this side made and adding that little bit of contour. I'm gonna find any excuse now to wear this blue. This color excites me. Let's put this on our brow bone. It's kind of a blue frost. Here's our finished look. This is delightful. I'm excited to create with these colors next. Are you gonna add it to your collection? So we're gonna use this palette again. But I thought we would do the eye with back camera and then I'll switch and finish my complexion like we always do, because I feel like this is a little less personal, but you can really get in there and really see how I'm placing and the shimmers and all that good stuff. So we're just gonna start with some, I don't know why I'm holding this still. Put that down. All right, so we're just getting in here. And I'm using my D2 brush, coming soon. And I'm using my clean canvas. So I'm gonna take that pretty much everywhere except for the lid. If a little gets on the lid, that's not a big deal, but I wanna use a really wet base there later. We're gonna grab this shade. And this isn't always the case, but if you're not sure where to start in an eyeshadow palette, I like to say that I use at least 3 mattes, right, in the crease. So that being said, the easiest way, and it's not always the right way, but it just kind of helps you not be as frightened of all the colors, is I start with my middle shade. So this being my lightest shade, middle shade, darkest shade. Now I probably shouldn't get into the black. I probably shouldn't. I should leave it alone. We know I probably won't. But if you lay down your middle shade first, we're gonna lay it down with a flat brush. Just kind of push it on there. Don't worry about the lid. Just kind of get your transition laid down and then we can build on top and around. We're still tapping. It's still just that one shade, but the more we tap, the more it transitions and becomes another color out of the one color. Now I'm thinking, I didn't expect it to be this cool. Let's look at it again. Because compared to the cooler side, look at this. Look at how much warmer that looks. But wow, I'm not upset about it. I like that. But I do feel that for this palette, you really have to know that you are getting cool tones. I'm grabbing this shade, tip of the brush. That way we can push it into the socket. I added a little bit. I thought I was recording and then, yeah, y'all get what happens around here. So I'm gonna push that into my socket first, okay? All the way around. Whee! Then I'm gonna wipe my brush off. And this seems to be a little bit warmer of a shade, so I'm gonna take a little bit of that and just kind of start to warm it up a little bit up here. Obviously, it's still gonna be in the realm of cool, but this brown is just gonna take it a little less gray and back into more of a neutral brown. Now I've got my cellar water here on my C30. I thought we could do a little bit different of a shape today, less rounded. I think I'll do a shadowing. I'm not gonna grab liquid liner, but I think we'll do a little bit more lift with the black. But I'm gonna do the liner before I do the shimmer. Yeah, this looks nice. Now I'm not gonna take it all the way like a perfect cut crease, but let's just clean it to about right there. All right, clear base. But before we do the shimmer, let's do the black. That way we have a little bit more control. I feel like once we add this intense shimmer, putting black on top of that, especially with this level of shimmer, chaos. So let's do this first. Just get it really nice and tacky. Now we're taking that black eyeshadow, and just remember that shimmers are always gonna conquer mattes. So if you want your matte to really stand out, do it first. So I'm gonna take that all the way over. Look at that, I haven't even dipped back in. Do you see how pigmented that is? I will layer it up, but it's so nicely pigmented. And then I wanna bring it out this way, but I wanna make it a little bit more hooded eye friendly. So I'm gonna come from underneath to do my wing. And I'm not gonna make my wing, well, my ginormous, we're all different. We're all on a different makeup journey. But that being said, when you come from underneath and you have a more hooded eye, you can get a little bit of lift, and it's so much easier. So now, you don't have to do this, but I kind of want to just teach it to you. I feel like a lot of makeup artistry, most of makeup artistry, is not only knowing how to fix something, but it's knowing when to fix it. At what state can we start to fix? Do you know how easy it is right now to take micellar water and start to tidy? I already tidied up the top, but you can literally just take your brush, not even worry about a thing, clean things up, get things really sharp, or just make it smoky, that's fine too. But if you've messed up or you want to change the shape, and all I'm doing is just pinching it off, right now is the best time. I wish somebody would have told me this. Makeup, it's not scary, it's just knowing when you can fix things, and of course how. Now we use this shade, but let's see what we think here. That one obviously looks cooler, that one looks warmer. Ooh, I think I'm speechless. I think we're gonna go warmer. Yeah, I think I wanna use that one. C30 to pick up this shade. I don't know which one's snoring behind me. I think they both are. No, that's Doug. Goodness gracious, Douglas. Oh my goodness, look at how pretty that is. That is nice. These are wonderful. I feel like these are just as sparkly, but they're not as, I don't want to say fallout. Fallout just sounds so negative. But they're not as explorative. They're not trying to explore the rest of your face. So I really like that. These are the lashes I have on in that last tutorial, the gray blue smoky eye. They're a half lash, but I think these are my favorite half lashes. These are the Lily Lashes self-adhesive, and the style is Go Getter. I just think they're just the right amount, especially because they don't overpower and kind of hide all of the shimmer. I love them. Now let's switch back to front camera. I love this foundation so much. By the way, I don't ever want, I'm just gonna tell y'all, I feel like every year when the new phone comes out, the new iPhone, I shoot on an iPhone and have for, I don't even know how long, my phone starts to overheat, slow down, and I swear the camera quality, unless I'm shooting with the back camera, is not the one. So they got me. I ordered that new one. I'm excited though. I hear that the new camera is actually upgraded this year, so I'm excited. Now, Natasha Denona concealer. I think I'm just gonna do concealer underneath my eyes. I feel like I'm wearing less concealer now that I've found this foundation. So that's something to note. Where's my C32? Here it is. There we go, melt that in. I literally think we have, honestly, I think, I don't know if I should discuss how many of these we have left. I think we literally have 30 of these left. So if you were thinking about getting one, and we're gonna order, of course we will order more, but I don't know if y'all know this, but all of the bristles are hand cut. So it does take, takes a little time. I feel like I should talk more about the brushes, but I always just feel like y'all roll your eyes, and I get it because I want to be helpful, not just a big salesperson, but yeah, hand cut. Less than 30 left. What the heck? So I want to do a coral blush. I really like this color. This is a very special color to me. It's almost a neon. So I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. Let me get one more little scoop here. Perfect. Okay, so you see it there on the back of my hand? Yeah, that needs to be evened out. It does. I know it seems like an extra step, but one little extra step here, and then we don't have to worry about it messing up our face here. Now also think about where we're at. We have no powder on our face whatsoever. So I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna tap it. And where do I want my blush today? I think I want it pretty high and out this way. I don't want it towards the front. So I'm picking up more. And the reason I wanna even it out is because I don't want any, oh, look how cool that looks. I don't want any lumps. And I promise you, if it's smoothed out, now I'm gonna pick some up on my brush too. If it's smoothed out when you pick it up with your finger or your brush, it makes a difference. So we're gonna grab our D1. D stands for double-ended. These are coming soon. Oh, that's nice. Some might even say delightful. And then I'm gonna use the other side. Let me pick up a little bit more because I wanna put a little bit there. So what I like to do is kind of get the initial blur and then come back in and enhance the center. So it's kind of like a transition from here up. Now, I'm gonna use the powder that I've absolutely been loving, and I also love it. You know, remember what I was saying? I love it with this foundation. 11 out of 10, 100 out of 10. What I don't like is losing my brushes. So okay, let's make sure this is nice and smoothed out underneath here. You can even kind of blur the edge of your blush there. And then we're just gonna set. Go over the edges of the blush. Delightful. I love it. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and set everywhere. I don't know who's been with me the longest here, but if you have, you remember that really the only, I guess, person that texts me is Pizza Hut. And Pizza Hut just texts me. Do I order Pizza Hut? No. Do I unsubscribe from that text? Absolutely not. And I've gotten wild lately, especially since I have this brush. This is the D1. Okay, do you see how it's kind of a pyramid in a sense? You see how it's got angles on the side? Not quite a pyramid. Don't come for me. But that's the first thing that popped into my head. So it's gonna pick up the powder, and then I've just been kind of baking, but only here. And then I'll just kind of have it stop there. You see my natural contour there? I go right under it. I don't really meet it, and I don't bring it all the way back, but I just feel like this lifts my face so nicely. And you might not want lift. I get it. We're all different, but I really do like this. And then I'll take what's left in the brush. Hang on. I actually don't need that much, but I'll take what's left and just set the center a little more. Now, instead of dusting this away, what I like to do is, I need to work this side in a little bit more, but I'll take my foundation brush and push it in. So we'll have kind of the extra pigment there, but look at how sculpted it makes the face. Just the little things. And then instead of using a shimmer, let's use this shade on our inner corner. The E27 again. It's kind of unexpected, but really pretty. I love y'all so much. I'll post the final back camera shots like I always do. I will save this to my highlights. And I think that's everything. I love you with all of my heart. I'm always around if you want to DM me. But I will see you again on Monday.